is made. Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, was on Pat McAfee. You think that was intentional?
Absolutely. I think he was trying to, get ahead of the fire a little bit and talk about that they need to get gambling under control. And I think that he's going to continue to try to figure out a way to put a lid on this. But it's going to be very difficult for him because I think this is widespread. I think it's going to be very damaging to the league. And, I just received a text message from one of the FBI agents that worked my case, and he basically said that they're not going to be able to cover this up like they covered up my case.
Why does legalized sports gambling, why do you think that decreases risk of corruption, not increases it?
I think it decreases risk dramatically because we have access to the betting information. I think when you have an underground business operating in the shadows, you have no idea what people are betting on your own events.
So now things that was hiding in the shadows are starting to come to light, and things are getting exposed. People are being called out, and it's about time. Because we've been saying that these games have been rigged for years. The NFL, the NBA, the NHL, the baseball, all of these different sports have been rigged. As long as you got gambling near the sports, you got criminality, they're gonna find ways to manipulate the game to make it work in their favor. Now we've seen refs get exposed for cheating. We've seen all kinds of scandals over the years. But Rasheed Wallace, who played in the NBA for 15 years, he called this stuff out a couple years ago when he was already exposing this, when he said this.
That's why I was just saying, as I got older, I didn't have to do all the cussing or come with attitudes. No, I'm just hitting them with logic now. Like, oh, so y'all got that email last night, huh? Oh, then they flare all up. What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, I know about y'all email. No, let's not forget that. I know about that. Man, look, it's been an ongoing
war. You're
referring
to emails from the league with, this is what we discussed in Whistleblower, but emails from the league that are telling the referees to officiate the game in a certain way and against certain players.
Yeah.
And so you were cognizant of that at the time.
Oh, yeah, I was very, because to me, I saw it. And he'll tell you what I always used to say. Y'all making it too obvious.
I thought he was crazy.
Y'all making it too obvious, too blatant. Y'all making it too obvious. Yeah. I said, y'all want the fans to be able to watch the games, but y'all sitting up here calling a lot of these bullshit calls is doing what? Slowing down the game. Y'all want the fans to see the dunks and all that. Yeah. So call that both ways, or don't call that shit at all.
The named defendants are charged for their alleged roles in both schemes. This alleged illegal gambling operation hustled unwitting victims out of tens of millions of dollars and created a financial pipeline for La Cosa Nostra to help fund and facilitate their organized criminal activity. Victims were attracted to play alongside well-known professional athletes and coaches like Chauncey Billups, only to be unknowingly deceived through rigged shuffling machines, fixing the odds in their favor, as alleged and as you just heard from the U.S. Attorney's Office. This alleged scheme wreaked havoc across the nation, exploiting the notoriety of some and the wallets of many to fund the Italian crime families.
Is that putting any pressure on you? I've never thought about that. But
no, I don't. That pressure thing is nothing to me, man. I do the best I can and let the chips fall where they may. You know that about me by now, quick.
So you did 30 months, correct?
I got sentenced to 30 months. I did 10 months in 8 days in. I did 7 months in a halfway house, and then I did a month on home confinement.
What do you feel like the next steps are moving forward with Chauncey?
He's going to have to make some decisions about how he wants to approach this, because when you're facing, a lot of time, you have to calculate how you want to navigate it. I was facing 2 charges initially. Wire fraud and conspiracy to commit healthcare fraud. The wire fraud held up to 20 years, right? And I had never had any experience with being arrested. It was my first time in handcuffs, all that stuff. But I also had morals, values, standards, and things like that. Telling on people or incriminating people and things like that, that wasn't an option for me. So he's going to have to figure out if you're going to try and make a better deal for yourself, especially because like the charges, a lot of times are so trumped up that they throw things on you that you're not responsible for. But because you're included in it, you're going to be held accountable for.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have to make a decision in those moments. Do I cooperate or do I accept responsibility? You have to calculate all those different things. So there's a million thoughts that's kind of going through your head at the moment. Reflect. You have to humble yourself. But then at some point you get this feeling that you have to activate and you have to fight for yourself, stand up, and you have to figure out like the tactics you're going to use in this fight.
So then we get to where you see David Stern in the U.S. Congress has requested a briefing from Commissioner Adam Silver concerning the NBA gambling scandal by October 31st. And this is coming from Congress, right? So with that being said, Carmelo was saying this.
Anyway, long story short, David Stern suspended me out of everybody 15 games. Everybody else got like 6 games, 7 games, shit like that. And I go speak to him like, why you do me like that?
What did he tell you?
Man, your rap sheet.
A rap sheet?
Man, look,
NBA rap sheet.
NBA shit. You want to be in the streets or you want to be in the NBA?
This is what he told you.
That's what in his office. You want to be in the streets or you want to be in the NBA? You fucking with a corporation now.
Yeah, you doing stop snitching.
You gonna leave that alone. I know who you with. I know where you live at. I know where they live at. I know when you close your eyes. I know when you wake up.
Damn.
So I'm like, and I know what they doing. He's telling me I know what they doing. Either tell them to stop or you got to cut them off. And I'm like, damn, like how the fuck? Like that's when I knew NBA was part of the feds. You know what I'm saying? That's when I knew.
They got him in there. And the little one with the little 4-5.
He told me, he was just like, man, he said, I gotta make an example out of you.
So that was Carmelo also blowing the whistle on what was going on in the games. But there was another guy that was involved in the rigging of games, and he spoke out. And there's been people speaking out about this for a long time, and they tried their best to cover it up. There's a lot of people involved because this is a multi-trillion worldwide business. So they're going to do everything they can do to protect it. And we know who runs it and who controls it. I don't got to get into that. Y'all already know. But this is what they were saying.
There are a lot of stories about it. There's one that cropped up. This must have been like 5 years ago, 2019-ish, I think, 4 years ago, where there was this game. It started in LA and then it came to Vegas for a few days, and it was all built around Chauncey Billups. And I had heard about the game, and the person who told me about it was like, "Look, I know the game runners. I'm telling you 100% this game is on the up and up." And I was like, "Well, I know a lot of the people that are involved, and I'm telling you 100% that it is not on the up."
But as you now know, individuals such as Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today. Former, current NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing. Not only did we crack into the fraud that these perpetrators committed on the grand stage of the NBA, but we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Casa Nostra to include the Bonanno, Gambino, Genovese, and Lucchesi crime families. And you'll hear more about those details today.
Federal indictments were announced involving current player Terry Rozier and current head coach Chauncey Billups. What was your initial reaction, and what have the last 36 hours been like for you?
My initial reaction was I was deeply disturbed. There's nothing more important to the league and its fans than the integrity of the competition. And so I had a pit in my stomach. It was very upsetting.
And Terry Rozier was allowed to keep playing after an NBA investigation ruled that there was no NBA rules violated. What do you make of that decision now amid the FBI's allegations against him?
So what happened was, because bets were placed through legalized legal betting companies, they picked up aberrational behavior around a particular game in March of 23. And so that was brought to our attention by the regulators and the betting companies. We then looked into that situation and were very transparent about it. And And while there was that aberrational betting, we frankly couldn't find anything. Terry at the time cooperated. He gave the league office his phone. He sat down for an interview, and we ultimately concluded that there was insufficient evidence, despite that aberrational behavior, to move forward. We then worked directly with the law enforcement, as they said at the press conference that the league has been cooperating, and so that was obviously over 2 years ago. So the federal government has subpoena power, can threaten to put people in jail, can do all kinds of things that a league office can't do. So we've been working with them since then, and of course what they announced yesterday was an indictment. So 2.5 years later, he still hasn't been convicted of anything, in fairness to Terry. Obviously it doesn't look good, but he's now been put on administrative leave. And so, there's a balance here of protecting people's rights and investigating. And as I said, we've been working with the government, and they have extraordinary powers that a league office doesn't have.
Now, you guys can trust and believe all that if you want to. I'm not. Listen, it is what it is, man. And Terry Rozier, he was under federal investigation for some time. They was, he was found not guilty by the state, and then the feds came in. Now he's been picked up again. So this is his second or third go round with the situation. Now they bring in Chauncey. They use them as the front people, right? They're using them as the front. Right, and behind that is a whole multi-billion-dollar scheme that a lot of people are in on it. There's a whole racket going on, and I fear that these guys are going to go to jail. It's going to get covered up because there's too many powerful people behind the scenes to uncover this thing. They're not going to. It's a smokescreen. They're not going to really drop the bomb on the situation the way we think that they should. That's not the way it goes. The black guys are going to be the ones that have to hold the bag. You're going to have a couple Italians in the back that's going to go to jail. But for the most part, that other group, they're not going to get in trouble at all. They're not going to get in trouble at all. You won't hear nothing from them. You won't see no indictments. You won't see them in handcuffs. You won't see anything, right? And that's just the way it's going to go. So y'all let me know what y'all think about this, man. Hit that like button. Subscribe to Street Media TV. Remember, leave your comments in the comment section. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.